You can find links to all my social media as well as my Discord, Patreon, and tip video plays down below in the description. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you guys do enjoy this video. The first common mistake I would like to discuss is to use a percentage rule before you take a gunfight. This is an important rule for the less experienced players, as it will lead you to dying less during a round to a gunfight that favors the enemy more than it favors you. If you don't know what the rule is, it's the rule where you think before you act in a gunfight that you know you're about to engage in, and ask yourself, what is the percentage that I win this gunfight and what is the percentage that the enemy wins this gunfight? This is a good rule to follow, as it will slow down your thought process and allow you to look at a situation before you act, resulting in you not dying to an unfair gunfight that you might want to take. Now, there are exceptions for the rule, as sometimes you might be in a clutch situation where you need to take the gunfights in order to win the round, or make the man count even. This is a good exception for this rule. It's all subjective to the situation, but most of the time, if you're ever finding yourself with an even man count and there's no pressure being given to you, then it's usually a safe bet to use this rule before you take a gunfight, because you dying early into a round to a gunfight you knew you shouldn't have taken could be the X factor in winning or losing that round. If you're still not following this tip or you don't understand it, I'm going to give two examples. The first example is what a gunfight would look like if the enemy had the higher percentage of winning the gunfight. And the second will be if you have the higher percentage of winning the gunfight. In example 1, we all know the notorious rafters on Clubhouse. Usually you can find someone playing there if the bomb site is CCTV and cache. Taking that gunfight directly at the start of a round is what a gunfight would look like if it favors the enemy more than it does you. Also, a little tip for that attack. If you're standing on the outside of the garage door, you always want to peek from the left side, as peeking from the right will cast a shadow in front of the door, notifying your enemy that you are about to peek. In the second example, I will explain a situation where it's more favorable to your side. I'm sure we have all been in a situation where we are playing some sort of vertical advantage, whether you're playing buck or a soft breacher. This is what a gunfight will look like when it favors you more than the enemy. Now, these are just examples of what a gunfight will look like in the percentage rule. Every situation is different to these examples, so what I recommend you do is use your brain before you act. Think of this rule in the back of your mind before taking your next gunfight you want to take. The second mistake I would like to cover is playing a position and owning a position. It doesn't really matter what the position is, the only thing that matters is how you play it. Some positions you need to play more aggressive, some need to be played passively. It's all about not allowing the enemy to feel comfortable if they need to push you or let them settle in a location on the map. For an aggressive position, you need to be pre-firing and shooting drones as they come. A position that is usually played aggressively would be elbow on Oregon. That is a spot where you cannot allow the attackers to feel comfortable trying to take bunker control. As for a passive position, it would be the red hallway on bank for the CCTV lockers bomb site, relying on your utility in order to play that position instead of gun skill and pre-firing. Those are two ways to play and own a position. It's about making the enemies feel pressured and uncomfortable in wherever they're trying to play. The third and final mistake I want to break down is playing off of intel, not impulse. What I mean by this is using intel devices, whether it's a Velcam on defense or a drone on attack, some sort of intel device. This will lead you much further during a round than you just trying to face check everything for intel, which will lead you to having a higher chance of you getting killed during the round. Don't allow yourself to jump into a window or a door just because you think that your impulse during a round is enough to win it or get you kills. It's not about that. Gathering intel and relaying it is just as much of a skill as shooting people is. It's very important that you don't let this mistake happen to you. Now, that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out more than you guys think it does. As I said at the beginning of the video, there are links to all my social media as well as my Patreon, Discord, and tip video playlist down below in the description. I would appreciate you guys go check out those links. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.